We're back, except for Bearded, who forgot to grab his water. Fortunately, his turn isn't for a while. Kazador.
Yes.
It seems likely that you will defeat your enemies here. The only question is, would you do it before Mortrick is slain?
It's true.
But before we start your turn, I want to say two things. First off, we've got a new Lilwyn picture by Cotton that's like Lilwyn casting Moonbeam, directing balls of energy. I think it's pretty cool.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
I feel like Cotton is trying to channel the Zettai Ryuiki, which is what it's called, where you wear a skirt and thigh highs at the same time. In Japanese, it means absolute territory.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious about this Kazador. I'll admit I haven't had as much chance to glance over today as I normally would, because I've been running a fairly complex combat where you're being attacked from 3 directions. But if my expert art critique is correct, you have been doing some fine coloring painting on Kazador.
Yes, yeah, I colored him in today, and now I'm going to do a portrait, I guess.
Well, before you move away and do the portrait, let me ask. I want to sound like I know what I'm talking about. What would I need to say in order for you to be like, yes, I'm using this technique in order to do the coloring in? Like, oh, I see. You're using the Pierce Brosnan technique in order to conflux the transparency layer on the third. What are we doing here? What do we need to do for me to sound artsy?
I mean, I didn't do anything too fancy. I just put in some flats and you got your shadows on a multiply layer and some highlights on overlay.
Still don't know what that means.
And
look, hopefully the artist at home.
conorhughes technique.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's pretty generic. I mean, a lot of people use that sort of thing. And just sort of doing some, like in the flats layer, I like to sometimes put in some like minor changes to the local color so that then you get some nice hue shifts, stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know. And then I had some fun putting in all the sort of dents.
So what he's saying is the overall color, he likes to put a slightly different color with that color so that it turns a little bit more.
Yeah, actually, I do have some of that going, but it's very, very minor. Most of what I was referring to before, though, with the local color, would be like, say, here in the boots, like I could throw in some more. Where
I just want you to know, AP, I also have no idea what he's talking about. I don't color.
I'm sure that makes a lot of things very easy, and not doing that.
I can say I have no idea what he's talking about, and I do color differently.
Yeah, there's different techniques and stuff. So yeah, then so underneath all this is the flats layer, and then over that is the multiply layers and the overlay layers and all that sort of stuff. Sort of adds the shadows and the effects and stuff. But then if you want to go into the flats layer and sort of add a little bit of micro texture, it can be kind of fun. And discoloration, especially with old objects like boots or armor or things like that, you can create imperfection.
Blah, blah, blah. I'm conorhughes. I'm amazing.
Folks at home. No, I don't like that. All right, what can I do to make that more? Slide sideways. Folks at home, you heard it here from professional artist conorhughes as to how you might be able to incorporate some new techniques to improve your drawings. Slide sideways. Glasses off. I'm back. No, I really didn't like that transition. I'm not liking it.
I thought it was pretty professional.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
All right. Well,
Down.
I'll work on it. You would not believe the amount of time I spend. I mean, one time I actually spent like an hour practicing putting this hat on like this so that it would angle perfectly but look really cool switching around. You can tell that I've forgotten how to do it.
I always was impressed by the hat action.
Speaking of things that are impressive, let's talk about how impressed we're about to be that Kazador is going to kill one of the zombies.
You think we're close?
No, not particularly.
Okay.
But yeah, you do a lot of damage, and you might have an action surge or two left. It could happen.
Nope. I use my action surges.
Well, then you are fucked.
Yeah. Can I stand on top of Mortrick, or how does that work?
Stand on his
Not
face.
while he is conscious.
But
If he's conscious, both of you has disadvantage.
Okay. Then I
And
will
attacks
stand
against you guys have advantage.
here.
All right, you move beside Mortrick. You can see him struggling to get his hand back around Gore Fang.
Gorfang, yep.
Morthang, yeah.
I cannot believe how often I want to say Gore Reaver.
The allegedly cursed sword.
I'm not even going to argue with you at this point. You know the truth.
Can I pull him away from the engagement without him taking hits?
That
Yep.
will be your action, and he has to accept that happening.
Mortrick?
Yes.
Yep, I'm good with that.
All right, you yank
Take
him
my
away.
hand, Mortrick.
Where do you want to put him?
I'll put him. Yeah, that's good.
All right,
Well,
you just
throw
manhandle him.
That's a
You,
hell of a
s-
throw.
you swing him in a crescent. Swoosh.
Yeah, can he like swing me with such force that I land on my feet?
I will allow you to make an acrobatics check, Mortrick.
All right.
If you cannot get a 10 on this, you will take 1 point of damage from the stumble as you fall back down.
That 1 point could be like
You rolled a 9. You scrape your knee and fall back down to the ground. You and Kazador have not practiced this dance maneuver, and you are not ready for the troll shuffle yet. Let's
then
not even talk about the Elven Samba. There's no way you guys would be able to perform that.
Well,
You
that
might
goes without
break
saying.
Manchurians doing
You
this
may die.
Caribbean dance.
So then also Kazador takes his tunnel fighter stance.
Oh my god. I would love that in a future episode. I'm just gonna take Cal and be like, alright, we're so powerful now, but our teamwork still needs work. We're gonna need to spend the whole episode learning ballroom dancing. You guys ready to do the goblin trot?
dun 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 dun.
I would tune in for that episode. That sounds super fun.
I would need to learn a lot of real dance moves to describe.
Dibs on Hal as a partner.
Who's the one that's left without a partner in a
It's
5-person?
not gonna be me.
It's probably Mortrick. Everyone partners up, and then I'm left all alone
Well, you're the band.
with sad.
Oh,
Charlie
that's
Brown
true. He
music
would be
playing.
the band. Speaking of the band,
Right.
let's talk about how you're banding yourself to the ground, holding onto your left knee because you're like,
Ow. Okay, so it's 15 to stand up.
it's half of your movement. So yes, 15.
Rik-Jaxx, make a silent image for your partner.
But then it's just going to dance how he thinks it dances. All right.
It is
I'm gonna
as equally bad at dancing as Rik-Jaxx is. Every round when we check Rik-Jaxx's roll to dance, that is how good your partner is.
I'm gonna be like, Kaz, thank you, but that hurts. And then
You're the one that tried to stand up during it, though. You could have just accepted being dragged.
hold on, I gotta go catch our ride. And then I'm just gonna head 45 feet this direction.
So you're dashing.
Yeah, double dashing.
All right.
Dashing, whatever. And I'm yelling at the boat, Steven, Clyburn, Bill. Just any name.
That
I
is
can
not the name of anyone who has ever been on that boat.
think. Cynthia, don't forget me.
So let me understand this if I've got it correct. I hate that your token is snapping around. I'm just gonna go ahead and move it. I can't move it. It continues. It's Roll20 is so bugged right now.
I can't count otherwise. It's so
I
much
keep
easier.
moving it to the end and it
Can't
snaps
count.
back.
It's 5 increments.
If it counts for me, that's so much easier.
Oh my god! You can do the final place that you're putting the token, and it'll tell you how long it took to get there.
And your move actions are very Mortrick.
All right, so you are making a plea to the crew, the captain, and the quartermaster that you're Cynthia's friend and that they should risk themselves to
Was
let
I
you on the
awake?
boat.
Yes. Was I awake when the zombie went into the building?
Yes.
Okay.
Make
Yeah.
a persuasion check at disadvantage. Actually, I'll let you make it at canceled out regular roll because you did ingratiate yourself to the crew by saving Cynthia multiple times. Well, just kind of once.
Oh,
Oh my
Nice.
god, that's
Natural
I should have
20.
just left it at disadvantage. All right, well that's a critical success. So you call out for Cynthia, and she
my
turns.
boys, I caught a ride. Hurry it up.
She fluffs her dragon hat helm back up, her little pajama helm, and holds a hand out and goes, "Teacher!" And a tear streaks down her eye, and the whole crew turns as their hearts grow 3 sizes too large. And the captain says,
And they die.
"Belay that order! Let the gangplank down! Someone razzle out the—I don't know what it's called. Did someone get a
Dazzle.
block and tackle out there to lift the cart? We're bringing them on board and charging them double."
On Mortrick.
On Mortrick, probably would say that. Runa, Mortrick has secured rare transportation off of this island during a time of great crisis.
How wonderful for him.
Well, I mean, between you
Let's-
and Mortrick, there are 2 zombies, and they're looking for someone to eat.
10, 15.
Also, the cart is still moving forward at full speed, and if the zombies are not dead, it will collide with the zombies.
Gonna move here and then punch that zombie.
I understand. Show me the
very
power of your dice.
Bam! Oh, goddamn.
That will hit.
Oh, cool.
That will not deal enough damage to defeat the zombie.
Then I'll do my
Offhand
bomb.
attack.
Yeah.
You literally attack with your second hand. You openly slap him in the face as hard as you can, pretending he's Mortrick.
Give him a good uppercut.
I need to get a 10 on this dice roll, and I do. Whoa! He uppercuts, and his head snaps back. Rah! Rik-Jaxx.
Which one? Okay, so, but you say that cart's moving forward, right? So
I mean, you.
I think I'm gonna go 5, 10,
You definitely see it.
15. Yep, and then I'll hit. Oh, how do I do that? There it is. So I'll strike this guy.
Huzzah!
Huzzah! Let's see what happens.
One punch. You hit him.
I hit him with
Would
a
you like to
22.
sneak attack?
Yep. Sneak attack. So don't tell me he's dead already.
Nope. He hadn't been damaged yet.
All right.
Sneak attack for 2 points of damage.
I'll
What
take
comes
what
next?
I can get. And I get bonus action, right? So I'm going to disengage to here.
Okay. You leap back behind Kazador. Lilwyn. Those zombies are approaching you at rapid speed. Well, I mean, not that rapid. At a horse-drawn cart that is slightly overloaded speed.
How do you do that thing that like marks the
Hold
distance?
click. Right? That's what you're trying to do?
No,
Uh,
measure out the distance because it's kind of hard
Q
to see.
and space.
Q.
You have to hold the token and then Q and space.
Yeah, because on the statuary park, it's kind of tough, which is why I did it the first time, and the second time I did it just to be a jerk.
So you hold the token and then you hit Q and space.
Yeah, if you hold the token and then you hit Q wherever you want to stop, it'll place a marker there. Right? Did that work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, geez, that's not what I meant to. I'm so sorry.
Oh my god.
Yep. You are about to move around a whole lot. All right, it snapped to the final location.
That's not the final location. That was an accident.
That's fine. You can figure it out.
That's the final location, so I don't hit Runa.
So you are sliding
It's
it.
marching. Yeah.
It's going like in an L.
I think that does hit me.
Because there's this one point where it's right here and it would collide with Runa, but you can go sideways.
I was like, I went straight down and then sideways, but I kind of messed up my snap thing.
Yeah, I feel like you could almost certainly do this easily.
Okay,
Get
I
around
got
Runa.
it.
Yeah, it's 100% doable. So Runa,
Okay,
once
you're right
again,
there, 'cause that would be hitting me.
once again, it swoops around you. The laser beam from space sliding past you. Are you putting it there and you only hit the one zombie?
I think I'll hit Runa right here.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hit Runa.
Okay, that's fine. Roll your damage. Are you sure you don't want to hit Runa? That's my inner Mortrick
I don't want to
talking.
hit Runa.
All right, I save for half, taking 5 points of damage. Zombie, zombie, zombie. Zombie next to Runa is attacking Runa, and zombie next to Kazador is attacking Kazador. 13 to hit Runa.
Oh.
A 1 to hit Kazador. Kazador, this zombie goes to attack you, and then bounces its head off the plate, and then walks around in a circle. You can see its flesh boiling from the light, and it's just like walking around in a circle trying to brush the light off of it.
Does that zombie have a concussion from running into Kaz's plate?
Yeah. He's a zombie. He knows not to go to sleep, mostly because zombies don't require sleep.
If he's walking around in a circle, doesn't he trigger my tunnel fighter?
No.
Come on. All right.
In a 5-foot cube, he's walking around in a circle.
All right. Hal and Lilywin are, and your Horace Winston, might be Winslow.
I think Winslow's about to get some moonbeam.
Winslow eats some moonbeam, as does the zombie. So the zombie remains standing in the area. He saves when you roll the moonbeam damage again. I guess Winslow doesn't get far enough since he's really just right there. All right, well, that zombie's dead.
He's near the moonbeam.
He's near the moonbeam. He's next to the zombie, and he turns placidly to look at it. The zombie, of course, looks just like an elf to him. It just smells kind of funny, but he's used to traveling with this group, so funny smells aren't anything new. I want to point out that Rik-Jaxx has been carrying deadly poison around with him for like 2 weeks, so...
Yeah, and some of it he threw in the harbor and caused the zombie infestation.
Allegedly.
No.
Allegedly.
I don't have to allege it. I know that that's the truth because I'm the game master, but for you guys, it's allegedly.
Allegedly. Unlike Mortrick's sword.
How is this
What are
looking
you
at
trying to say
Runa?
about my sword?
Hal is like, what should I do, Runa?
Turn the cart!
Okay, I'll try. Next round.
Stop the horse.
Next
There are
unit of
other
time
ways
division.
Great. He doesn't know how to
Kazador.
drive the cart.
Me?
Yeah, what you gonna do, Kaz?
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna try and polish this zombie off once and for all. And I'm not gonna. I guess I have to move. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna have to move closer.
Yeah, don't jump in front of the
Come
bus.
a little bit closer, you're my kind of zombie. And the night is so young. That is exactly enough to kill it. I need to hit a 13. I do not. He's dead. Congratulations, you all have cleared the combat. The only problem is that the card is going to end up in the moonbeam at the end of the round.
I moved my moonbeam.
And
You
then
guys are all watching as Lilywin is just like making arcane gestures in the air. This moonbeam is constantly like whoop, whoop.
Kazador should finish his move by getting out of the way of the wagon.
yeah.
All right, so while the boat
So
works
I want
on
to point
coming
out
back-
that you told Hal to turn the cart, so he starts turning the cart towards Rik-Jaxx.
What the?
At some point, the comedy ends, and the cart does end up where it's supposed to go. Hal's a little flustered, because I want to remind you, he hasn't gone into combat very often. He's still kind of new to the adventuring thing, and he mostly is good for carrying torches. And
Right,
driving
so-
carts.
While they work on getting the boat back into, dock and the gangplank down and everything.
So the gangplank's quick. The problem is that they need to set up the sails to go sailing, and more importantly, to get the cart on, they need to swing out a yardarm with a block and tackle and lift it up.
Okay, so I come over to the group and I'm like, okay, guys, we have to figure this out. Are we leaving on this boat and doing our thing? Or are we staying here to work on Lilywin's thing because there are about to be a lot more zombies down here?
I thought Lilywin was going on the boat.
Yeah.
Is that what we're doing, Lilywin? Are you going to be okay leaving
Yes.
your island to be infested by zombies?
Well, I don't want to be infested by zombies.
Well, I mean that ship has sailed. Our ship has not. So we need to pick a boat.
That was so good.
I mean, there's not that many more zombies, right? They could probably take care of it.
Yeah, I mean, you have a whole
They
army.
should.
If that's what you
Have
want
an
to tell
army.
yourself, I'm okay with that. All right, let's get this wagon.
Why are you putting it like that? What's that supposed to mean?
We saw some zombies.
Elves are born with swords in their hands. They should be able to handle it.
Okay, all right. I'm just, someone's got to be devil's advocate here, and that's, I'm just trying to put all the options on the table.
Does someone have to be devil's advocate here?
I'll take the goat onto the boat just to move this process along a little bit faster.
Okay,
let's
all
go.
right.
Let's get on the
Someone's
boat.
just like, is that a goat? Why does it smell like curry powder?
Delicious.
We like
Delicious curry.
As it's happening, Hal's just like, I'm pre-seasoning it. Don't touch it.
I'm gonna go over to Hal and I'm gonna hug him. I'm like, I'm glad you made it, Dad.
He's like, we'll have to talk later about this dad thing. Of course, I appreciate that you consider me a son.
He might have been your father, but he wasn't your daddy.
I just watched that movie last week. It's so good. I learned that some people in this call right now don't appreciate Thor Ragnarok and were judged for their tastes in cinema. Connor.
Yep.
It's
You
fine.
know what?
Everybody can make their own terrible decisions in life. I certainly have.
Just a human being.
And if you want to at him, he's on Twitter and Twitch and
Oh my god.
Bring it. I will take that discussion. We can also discuss that in the Twitch. conorhughes.
As you know, you can send hate mail to this channel to my channel manager, Dan Rathers at NBC.com.
I thought it was Mick.
I don't know Mick's email, but it would be very funny to listen. I also don't know that I would let him be my channel manager.
No, you
What
can just
could go
have,
wrong?
we should tell Dan so we can forward it to Mick.
So all of you end up on the boat, and the captain appears to have nothing to do, right? Like, all of his men are very competent at getting the boat ready to sail.
I want to high five Cinzia.
All right, yeah. Cynthia's locked in the captain's quarters. Do you want to be locked in there with her?
No, I'll just go to the door then and be like, "Hey, kid,
She's like,
great job out there.
teacher, I managed to take out one of the zombies with my only spell for the day.
Fantastic
My
work."
dad is very upset.
Yeah, he'll get over it.
Probably not. He gets upset for like a week at a time. It's so long.
Yeah, a week is pretty long. All right, I'm gonna go see if I can help.
Okay.
Hang tight, little
Good luck.
buddy.
So the captain is speaking with as many of you are standing around, and he goes, "Did you pick up a new member to your adventuring party?"
Yeah, I'd like to introduce you to Lilywin. She is an elf, not a princess.
When you say that, it makes me very suspicious, Mortrick. I trust you about many things, including teaching my daughter, but also you're an unrepentant liar occasionally.
I mean,
Miss, are you a princess?
Trusts you in everything but his words.
Yes.
So he takes off his hat and left leg back goes into a courtly bow and says, "Ah, I am Captain Espresso Leandro of the Velocity Raven. Definitely not a smuggling vessel, as much as you are definitely not a princess. Might I inquire as to why you have boarded my fine nautical vessel in this time of dire need?"
As I'm leaving.
Because it's a time of dire need.
I see. I assume you have funds to pay for this leaving?
I'll
She looks
cover
to
it.
the rest of the group.
I'll cover it.
So the captain says, I assume you have funds to pay for this. The last time your passage was paid for by the crime lord of Pyreswater. No
Yeah, I
such
got it.
deal exists now.
I would be more than happy to compensate you for your time on this trip, since it is, kind of unexpected, and there was a little just of kerfuffle down there in the dock at that time.
Is the training for your daughter and her weapon not payment enough?
I believe I compensated some of you for your services during our travel. You do, however, make a good point. My generosity for your group notwithstanding, I do need to somehow generate funds for my men.
Of course.
Yes. We can, I don't like to talk money with family, but, whatever you need.
Allow me to ask, Princess, then, where are you traveling to?
Away from my responsibilities. I don't care where it goes.
Have you heard of a small place called
I
Pyre's
like
Water?
her so much more right now.
I don't know. Is that a place that I would have heard of before?
I mean, it's a small human town, several hundred miles away. It's famous for being full of class warfare and criminals. Have you heard of it?
I'm. Can you refresh me on where that is again?
He just says, you'll fit in perfectly there.
Out of character, where are we going?
That's a great question. Where are you going?
Well, yeah, that's
Because this boat is currently headed towards Pyre's Water, apparently.
Yeah. We're actively looking for another item now, or are we just wondering at this point?
I don't know. You tell me what your plan is. I've been waiting for this moment all episode.
We're going to need to talk about that amongst ourselves, where exactly the end of this trip takes us.
The hold is currently empty if you want to head down there.
That would be great.
But this boat is headed for Pyre's Water as soon as that cart hits the deck.
Captain Espresso, do you have a map that we can take a look at?
As a matter of fact, I have the worst drawn map in all of existence.
Oh, I'd love to see it.
Said no one ever.
Well, I just did.
Yeah, did we get another assignment for another relic?
No.
Did
No,
you?
I think we still need to message.
Well,
Hey, but we delivered the flute.
You did.
So-
The
yeah,
ocarina.
I had
Yes.
got the what the instructions were after that. So
There were no instructions after that, just to be
okay.
very clear.
Yeah.
You haven't received further word from your patron.
yeah.
The wizard Mardrovian.
Arjovian.
Hey, Captain, while you're getting that map out, the quartermaster, I'm drawing a blank on his name right now. It is
Quartermaster Beric de Tully.
Barrick. That was.
Do you
my
remember
next
my
guess.
name?
Captain
Espresso Leandro.
I like Whistler.
Espresso Leandro, yes.
At the same time he says that, I like whisper behind him like espresso.
Yeah, I'll take my cue from Runa.
It's not that hard.
It's pretty difficult. It's got a lot of letters. I'm not good with names. Half the time I think you're Rik-Jaxx.
It is
I think
refreshing
you're
beverage.
Jax Rick.
No way, that's true.
What was that bird's name again? The metal one?
Perseus.
Yeah. Can I say Perseus and see if it'll come back?
It does
Whoa,
not.
whoa, 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 whoa. We're on a wooden boat. That thing would kill us all if you brought it here.
It did fly around on jets of flame.
I think we need to figure out what we want to do, and then
I say we head back to Pyre's Water.
His name is not Latte Coriander. That is not.
That's his brother's name.
I think we're. And now we're in Dragon Ball Z territory.
So it is 1,440 miles to travel back to Pyre's Water from Havens.
Is there anywhere in between here and there?
There is not on the ocean. So with this map, you could technically like stop at a port here, or you could stop at a port in the Empire. But this boat is going to sail the southern route against the wind, against the current, back to Pyre's Water, which is why the return trip takes longer than the trip there.
Okay.
I mean, I'd be interested in going to the Empire.
Literally where we just came from, right?
That's correct.
Where maybe there was an incident on a bridge one night.
Yep, and you might have tried to kill a crime lord's son.
Yeah. I'm
And
not sure.
definitely killed at
Probably-
least one of his men. Hashtag Rik-Jaxx.
Collateral damage.
Also, hashtag he was paid, so.
Mhm.
All good.
As you know, blood feuds end when someone pays the Were Guild, and no bad feelings will ever happen again.
Yeah.
Probably not the
Okay.
best
Let me
race
point
for us
you
go.
to several Shakespeare
I think our best play here is we figure out what we want to do. One of us, who is not me, goes out on like a boat, a little bit away from the boat when they summon Perseus to minimize collateral damage.
I mean, so Runa just tried to summon Perseus and he didn't show up.
It didn't show up.
Do we if we just call out Mardrovian, will he speak to us? Do I have any?
Do you do that? Do you just say Mardrovian?
Yeah, I'm gonna say Mardrovian.
Nothing happens.
Mardrovian.
Kazador, the captain quietly presents you with an invoice. It's in the princess's name for 720 gold pieces, which is the cost of taking the 5 of you to Pyreswater.
Jesus Christ.
What would the cost be to the Empire?
To the Empire is a third of the distance, so a third of the cost.
Okay.
It would take 240 gold pieces, and that's with the friends and family discount.
Gotta love that discount.
Yeah, just to be clear, he's not overcharging you for this. This is like average or slightly less than the average cost.
Hey,
it's just
Lilwin.
very expensive to go on a boat.
Anybody have any coupons?
Lilwin, did you happen to leave the castle with just buckets of gold stashed somewhere on
You
your
cut
person?
back to Runa looking at Runa at the treasury, where she was standing next to huge blocks of gold, and then walked away.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad you have your bunny, because you're gonna need something to remember your homeland by.
Oh my god! Holy shit!
Well, I
Mortrick.
planned on one day returning, but way to make it very sad.
So
Yeah,
Hal
yeah.
has like a carving knife out and is sharpening it and looks at the bunny and says, "Princess, how did you want that prepared?"
We won't be
Excuse me?
preparing it.
Oh, sorry, I thought it was like the goat.
Wait, what'd you do to the goat?
Nothing yet.
It's got a season first.
Where's the goat at?
The goat has been lowered into the center of the ship, down to the bottom in the hold. The goat and the cart and Winslow are all down at the bottom.
She just kind of holds up a finger, and then she rushes to wherever she last saw the goat.
All right, the goat's still there. I mean, let's be super clear. You weren't there when he bought the goat, but that goat is meant to be eaten very shortly in some delicious spiced curry.
Does it have like a rope
Yes.
on it? I'm just gonna lead the goat back up with me.
All right. It is a very difficult climb through a sailing ship for the goat. You bring the goat back up on deck, and the captain goes, "Get that goat below decks!" And Hal stands up and starts moving towards the goat with the carving knife out, and says,
This goat can be our friend.
"No, I bought the goat so that we could kill it and make good food for all of my friends, my
Why would
employers."
you do that?
Well,
Look at
because
his cute little eyes.
he looks in the eyes and he says, "Those aren't cute eyes. They're not the scariest eyes I've ever seen, because I've looked into the eyes of Thardur, but yeah, those are not cute. Can you see those square black?"
Guys, don't worry. Thardur is just his friend from back home. It's not anything.
We need to talk about Thardur with Kazador later. Kazador has been lying to all of you, but we'll talk about it later.
Right. You can't just say something like that and be like, let's talk about it later.
Well, let's head down to the hold. He wraps his hand around the goat and takes the carving knife in the other hand. He's like, "Let's just take Mr. Goat downstairs. We don't want to name it accidentally or anything. The only name I'm going to give to you is Dinner. Isn't that right,
I
little
named
guy?"
him Javier, and she
No,
pulls
so he's just like, "Dinner. Din.
I'll pick up the goat and be like, we'll table this for later. And then take
Yes,
the
we
goat
will."
back. Not like that.
All right, so let's
I've
just be
never
clear
eaten
here,
a
Kaz.
happy
Are you
before.
redirecting the ship to the Fade Angusian Empire?
I mean, that's the only destination we can afford as far as I
Okay,
know.
all right. I mean, do you collectively have 240 gold pieces to pay for this?
How do we afford that?
We each got 50.
Yes.
200.
So I think-
Some of you have spent money since then.
I only have 48 silver left, so I'm down
That
to
is like 5 gold pieces.
yeah,
at
56.
best.
I have 60 gold, or no, 58 gold pieces altogether is what I have.
Forget how much I
57.
have.
Jesus,
Hold on.
man. 57 gold pieces.
I don't know how much I have either, but if I had 50 at one time, I probably have like maybe 40.
I'm gonna go talk to Hal too.
Put that right
Be
here.
I think I have like 30 gold pieces.
Hey Hal,
We didn't.
You did. You already paid Hal.
you did? Okay.
Yes, you paid Hal when you arrived in port. He spent literally all of his money buying the goat and the spices that he's using for dinner.
Right. So we don't need to pay out Hal again until
You
we
get to the next
somewhere.
port.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And he costs 5 silver pieces a day, and it has been 1 day since the last time he's been paid.
Okay. So by the time we get somewhere, we're gonna need able to pay to get there, and then we're gonna need to be able to pay Dad to feed us that goat.
He also has to pay us for the voyage. We're not covering his fee.
Ooh.
When you say that, Hal turns to look at you. He's shook, and he's just like, "I don't have that kind of money."
Okay, Hal. Well, we won't pay you for the
You're
ride.
gonna garnish my wages, but I spent all of my money buying these beautiful animals for us to eat.
Which now Lillian
sure
just
will
wants
be
to throw into the ocean or something. I'm not sure what, but
I'm pretty sure she doesn't want to kill the animals, Kaz. If she won't let us eat
are
them,
you sure throwing them into the ocean would kill them? We're still in the port.
yeah, because the zombie fish that Rik-Jaxx put down there will kill them.
How do we don't even know the zombies came out of the water.
Listen, Kaz,
The
I'll
alleged-
ask you a question. Is my sword cursed?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. And Rik-Jaxx made zombies, all right? It's the same thing.
We have no proof.
And
Literally saw you do it.
No, sleight of hand.
Actually, I
made my
believe
roll.
none of you saw him do it.
That's right.
oh, none of us did see him do it.
All right. All right.
He rolled a sleight of hand check and defeated all of your passive perception checks.
Yeah,
And
as far as I
allegedly-
know,
It's just
allegedly, yeah.
it's this elven thing that happens. Lillian, have you ever seen zombies crowd at the port?
Yeah, does that happen pretty often where you're
That's
from?
never happened.
What is up with you guys and the zombies?
That's never.
Don't know.
So Hal goes, you know, those zombies looked exactly like the zombies back from
Right?
Apple
They
Valley.
look very familiar. Hey, Rik-Jaxx, what
They
did
had
you
the
do
same
with that
weird
file?
pustules too.
What'd you do
Maybe
with
they're
that
chasing.
file we took with us from the other zombie place?
I tossed it in the ocean.
Seems legit.
Fine, if you're going to corner me about it. Yeah, I got a broad question here, and I'm changing the subject here. So, are all druids vegetarians?
Wow.
Hal's just like, wow, I thought it was Kazador that was racist.
Right?
I mean, that's more classist, isn't it?
I am.
Just made me wonder.
Most of the ones that I knew were.
All right, I didn't know that. Down in Blydenstone, where I come from, we don't have vegetarians, so it's kind of a new
Probably don't
concept
have
for me.
clones either. You need to get out and travel more, Rik-Jaxx.
Do you have
Yeah.
veggies at all?
I can
Veggies.
talk.
Mushrooms, fungi.
Mushrooms are veggies.
Yeah. So we would eat.
Sorry, was that
mushrooms and
called
fungi.
Blydenstone?
Blydenstone? Yeah.
Okay, just making sure to mark down that name. That it sounds very familiar to me, almost like Forgotten Realms.
It is.
If I'm correct, that's actually the name of the Dark Gnome capital.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
It
well,
was- I
you
don't
know
if it
what?
was a-
D&D is a collaborative effort, and even though that definitely is taking copyrighted material, 5e hasn't sued me yet for all the other stuff I use of theirs on a regular basis, so I'll allow it. And doubly important because we finally learned a bit about your past, and that's going to be really important in several minutes.
Okay.
So Lillian, do you have enough to make your fee for the passage?
I'll cover
Did
her
I
fee.
start out with any money?
Yeah, I mean, you'd start out with the amount of money that you have in your background.
Runa, we don't have
As a
enough money to
princess, you probably
As a princess,
I know we don't have enough.
Let me
money.
ask you a question. How many princesses do you know that walk around with spending cash?
None.
So, I
don't
mean,
know.
Lillian probably has like 15 to 20 gold pieces on her.
All right, I guess so. We're all gonna let's all pool our cash, guys. What I've got 63 gold.
I have 40.
Hal has a few silver pieces.
57.
What is that total?
No one wrote that down. All right, I have,
Connor asked for it.
you have 40. What'd you have, Kaz?
63.
Rik-Jaxx?
40.
Runa?
40.
Oh, you guys both had 40. And then Lilawin, what'd you have?
20.
20. All right, so 163, 170, 220. We have 220 altogether.
I have 25.
Do you have any jewelry, Lilwyn, that we
We
can
have
maybe pawn?
225 220, yeah, you have 25. So we have 225 altogether. We have 200 that's actually ours. And I have a feeling Lilawin is going to need hers to fund the eventual redemption of her nation. I don't know what the term for that's going to be. Revival? Saving? I mean, you're going to have to go back there and you're going to have to kill a lot of things and rebuild.
I think we should just pay attention to what we're doing now. Because after this, we are going to be very, very poor.
Right, we're going to be totally broke, guys.
So, Lilawin, how much do you feel like chipping in to the group effort? Let us remind you, we saved your nation. We
Did not.
we saved it before Rik-Jaxx screwed it, okay? So
Technically, that is
You
true. I
don't
forgot.
know
You
that.
actually did save the entire country.
Yeah, they said that.
Although it isn't a nation anymore, it's an empire.
oh, it's an empire. Well, it's
Well,
about
the
to be-
Chancellor made it an empire by saying it's
about
now
to
an
be a
empire.
graveyard, but right now it's thinks it's an empire.
Yeah.
But then the new kings, or the old kings,
How much did we need total? Is 240.
240.
If I can
240 just
offer,
for us to the empire.
if I can offer my services and working on the ship, can we get that?
You
that
get a
last
discount?
20? Yeah. Can we
yeah,
get?
I'm going to offer the same with my extensive knowledge of ropes.
To think they're going to pay us to keep Kaz away from the ropes. That is a great plan.
All right. You guys are unskilled hirelings at nautical work. How many of you are working?
I am.
Think
All of
we'll
us.
work.
Hal will work as a chef, I guess. So that's 5. Princess, would you like to work on a ship?
Princess doesn't have a choice.
It sounds
No,
like she's not into it.
She is a princess.
Bad enough she's an elf, but she's also a princess.
That's supposed to mean.
It's supposed to mean I think Kaz is rubbing off on me. I feel
They
like I'm
will.
being racist.
With all of your work together, that will take 8 gold pieces off of your debt.
All right.
So the captain comes down to the hold. You can hear that the ship is getting underway. You can feel it creaking and turning. You hear the loft of the sails. And you can hear people shouting in Elven like, "Oh, let us onto the ship!" Lilawin, and there's replies in comment. They're like, "Nope, no one else comes on. We're leaving." Someone shouting in Elven like, "Where are the sea turtles? They're supposed to lead you out." And someone's like, "Stop this boat. Do not allow it to leave. There could be plague victims on board." And the captain's just like, "Fuck you, we're leaving." The captain heads down into the hold and says, "Quartermaster will get us underway." Now,
And his name was Venti Latte again?
that's not even close. That's the name of a coffee.
Oh. What was the quartermaster?
My name is Espresso, not Expresso.
Espresso. Espresso?
Yes.
an S.
Espresso.
In Westall, it means fast.
Oh. What's the quartermaster's name?
Derek Detali.
Derek.
Derek Detali.
Eric Detali.
Barrick with a B.
Barrick.
I got it wrong the first time accidentally, but it's Barrick Detali.
Barrick Detali. Okay.
It sounds like you're having some trouble coming up with the money.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that is definitely going to be a problem for you.
We offer our services as hands. to
Yes,
work.
yes.
as well as
That'll
security.
take about 8 gold pieces off of your bill.
Yes. I
Allow
realize.
me to offer some alternatives. Princess, I'm not quite sure why you've ended up with a band of adventurers, where you're going or what you're doing. But seeing as we've changed course twice now, and now we're heading to the Fade Angusian Empire, might I believe that you're not sure where you're going and you're just trying to get away?
That's correct.
Okay. Well, as a father, I feel like perhaps you should have informed your parents, but you're probably older than me, so
How old are you?
I am in my mid-40s, probably.
Oh, baby.
Okay. All right. That's not insulting at all. Princess, is there any chance that perhaps we might prevail upon a consulate or military vessel along the way in order to acquire the funding for your passage? Are you in good standing with your country that they might cover the bill? Okay, you think that you're liked by your people. All right, that's not comforting.
Isn't the army stationed at the Fade Empire? Is that where...
Yes, the army, the navy has been encroaching on the Fade Angusian coast and is currently engaging the Empire, as far as you know.
And to their knowledge, she's still running away, right? Because
no one knows that she's right. Oh yeah, that's right. They believe that the Chancellor's in command and that Lilywin is a rambunctious princess who's not eating her vegetables or cleaning her room.
Right.
She's still the princess.
She's still the princess.
So,
but he doesn't know any of this because he just parked in port for a day and doesn't inquire on court politics.
Right,
because he's a smuggler.
Yeah, but we know that.
We know that, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we're talking
so he's asking, if we go to the Fade Angusian Empire, will someone there pay for your passage? Can I get money that way?
Maybe.
Okay.
That's not filling me with comfort.
We can tell them to like get my parents to pay for it later.
They'll have money.
Will your parents pay for it later? Where will I acquire these funds from? Will you write me a letter with your name on it?
Sure.
I'm being sarcastic, Princess. I am not well regarded in any of the ports around the world, and I believe that money in my hand is worth twice that on the sea.
We can give you what we have, and that's all we have.
Do you have some sort of seal from your parents that you could give me to prove that I transported you? Like a noble seal?
I have a scroll of pedigree.
I will take that. I will take that, and if you don't mind, I will put all of your voyages on this particular account and maybe some extra charges along the way.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so he's like, now how can I inflate the price? So he's just like, good food every night, bottles of wine, just gonna, he's like, room service, charge it all to Lilywin's parents. This is truly the kid running away from home to Ibiza with the mom's credit card. Oh my god. You're headed right into a war zone. All right, your monetary problems are now solved in the hopes that someone will accept this scroll of pedigree as proof that he has transited Lilywin.
Man, I knew that would work. God, we're so resourceful as a group. I'm really proud of us, guys. We did good work. I mean, except for the fact that, like, everyone she knows and loves is now a zombie. But
I was like, that's probably not true. They seem like they're all really good at fighting.
I think we're gonna be all right.
All right, I don't think we're going to be all right. There's something I need to share with all of you. Kazador has been lying to us.
What?
This is Hal?
Yes, that's Hal.
Okay. Hal, I would never lie. What are you?
Hal, are you just saying this because he wants to kill you?
No.
Say your piece, Hal. I'm ready to have it out with you.
The great Lord Thardur has conveyed upon me a vision. Now, I didn't understand at first Kazador's hostility, but after Thardur's guidance, I believe some measure of what Kazador might have come upon. Thardur is not a demon, Kazador. Thardur is a creature from another universe that cast off the dying shell and traveled over into this world, where it did indeed have some conflict with the gods here and was trapped beneath the seas. But not like physically, like spiritually trapped beneath the seas. It's another dimensional thing. Don't worry about it. Planar hopping is going to be very difficult, but one day I hope to travel and help free Thardur from the god's grasp. But here's the important part. Thardur is bound by his universe's rules, not by ours. Time is meaningless to him. For him, he's already escaped and is being trapped at the same moment. And everything that happens in between then is happening at every moment. And so Thardor knows that Kazador has betrayed us all and has been secretly communicating with the Demon Lord.
Wait, Kaz, you're the demon worshiper?
I am not. And I did not secretly communicate with any demon lord. When I did though, pick up the ocarina.
Plot twist.
Plot twist. I did, when I picked up the ocarina, there was a demon lord, I believe, on the other end. And he tried to convince me.
As you say it, Hal shakes his head and he's like, I knew it. I knew I could trust Thardor in this.
You guys really should have let me look at that. I mean, I just hope you all realize missed opportunity.
What did you sell us out for, Kazador?
Nothing. I did not take his devil's gambit.
Back up. I think we can handle this, all right? Tell Thardor.
How can I trust any of you now?
But
You're gathering objects tainted by the demon? I didn't even know the Demon Lord was real.
You would stop watching that one station all the time because it's kind of rotting your brain.
Thardor News is ruining his life.
You might be having a little bit of trouble separating.
I haven't understood what all of you are doing because you won't give me a straight answer. But you're going around gathering artifacts tainted by the Demon Lord? He's real?
I mean, he's as real as
I mean, is that why
Thardor.
there are plagues and wars all over the land?
I mean, there's plagues because of Rik-Jaxx. I don't know why there are wars. Could be a lot of
Gathering them so they don't fall into the wrong hands.
Yeah,
Why
but we
wouldn't you
need
just
to
tell people
destroy
that?
them.
Why haven't you told everybody that?
Because for some reason people don't believe me, and I never lie when I don't have to.
Because every single wrong hand that could grasp one of these items will be after it. If we tell everyone, it will do us no good.
When you
Right.
say that, all of the lights in the hold go out. Now, who has dark vision? Lilwyn?
I don't.
And
I think
Me.
it's low.
Rik-Jaxx.
All
I
right.
have superior night vision.
Wow. All right. Well, you superiorly see the wizard Mardrovian appear in the middle of the room, and then he raises his hands and the lights come back up.
Ardrovian. Hey, do you have
About
like
time.
Do not take me for
$200?
some cheap conjurer of tricks.
It is I, the wizard Mardrovian. And he raises
Yeah.
his hand.
We need about 240? Is that what he said right now?
Why is no one kneeling before me?
Oh, is that like
It is
What's it
traditional
always
to
been
kneel
for?
before a wizard lord.
I kneel.
Right?
What
I'll
about the
kneel.
great? Now it's gonna take us 10 minutes to stand him back up with all that.
So a
armor.
lord is way lower than a king, but a wizard is as powerful as a wizard decides to be. So, I mean, does a wizard outrank you? Pretty tough to say. How much do you like being a newt?
How much do I what?
Like being, well, okay, you're a shape changer, so becoming a newt is no big deal for you. You could just shape change back. How much do you feel like respecting an old wizardly dude?
That's a no. Should probably like dip real quick.
I see
I
all of
mean,
you
she's
have
new to us. She's new to the group. So
some lacking in manners. I am not here in body, but I have sent my spirit to help guide you.
way better than that bird. This place is
No,
a
that bird is
tinderbox.
amazing. I've been testing it for some time. I'm very glad with what it managed to get done.
Yeah, no, like on land it's great. On a boat, it's a terrible idea.
Might I ask your destination?
We're going to the Empire.
Ah, headed towards my lands. Excellent. That's good. The next item lies beneath the Empire.
What is the next?
Where are you in the Empire?
I am on the southern edge of the Empire. I am regarded highly among the Empire's magical staff as a expert.
Do you
I
think
have
we can-
some small lands here, but mostly I keep to my tower and keep the balance of peace in the world.
Can we invoke your name if we ever?
Nope, absolutely not.
Just,
I scry on you from time to time, and frankly, the things that you would do in my name would cause so much trouble for me.
Yeah, we've got some reckless crew.
That's probably for the best.
I'm sorry about Kaz. He's kind of a racist. I don't know how he feels about wizards.
Do you have any words for us as far as where the next item will be held, or who
There
would hold
is.
it?
You will require Rik-Jaxx's aid in order to get it.
Really? How's that happening? I
Beneath
don't know where it is.
the Fade Angusian Empire, there is a second, perhaps empire is not the name, but a sprawling den of dwarves,
Scum and
goblins.
villainy.
No, that's racist. Just
Sorry,
because
is
they
it-
are of different
sorry.
races that are not like the surface races do not mean that they are bad. However, you are traveling to the homeland of the Deep Gnomes, Blingdenstone. I believe Rik-Jaxx knows it quite well and will be necessary to guide you there. It is, in fact, a place of evil, where villainy reigns, where humans are unwelcome, and the surface races will be looked down upon. Kazador will fit in great.
Yeah, it sounds like things have gone really bad since the sacking of the city.
Indeed. I must ask that you leave the princess behind on this journey. She is not a member of the Fellowship of Finding. And these items that you are gathering might be too much of a temptation for one who rules. This next item is, I believe, in my own opinion, the most dangerous of all. It might
all
be
due-
the most dangerous item ever created.
With all due respect, we have Mortrick in our party, and I do not think she is at the same caliber.
You say that, and yet, if she were to get her hands on this item, she could use it to give elven supremacy to the whole world with just a few mere moments.
Runa, that hurts, but it's not unearned. I understand.
Runa, I must say that for the next item, you yourself cannot be allowed to grasp it either. The temptations that it has will be too strong for you to overcome. The item
understand.
resonates too well with you. You seek a ruler called Ravanavar's Measure of Fixation. Ravanavar was, of course, the leader of the band of the 5 heroes who sealed the Demon Lord, and she took it upon herself to take the greatest burden of his power. It may seem to be a mere ruler, but its power is celestial in nature, perhaps even more than that. It can
It's also
rewrite the
pro-trajectory?
fundamental laws of the universe. I'm sorry, Mortrick, what did you say? My reception over here is quite bad.
Nah, it's fine. It's fine. We can move on.
No, that's okay. I want the name again. Ravanavar's ruler of what?
That's Ravanavar's Measure of Fixation. I will copy paste it for you.
Okay, thanks.
Can I recall the god that Hal just mentioned?
Thardor.
Sorry?
Thardor.
Thardor? Would it be able to summon Thardor?
The Chained Leviathan. It could be used to free him, certainly. However, it would require to be taken to one of his anchors and then exchanged with something.
Just like, amongst you, like, high and mighty types, on a scale of, like, Ocarina of Time to Ruler of Fixation, where does Thordak land?
You mean
land.
Thardor?
That's what I keep saying, yes.
Thardor exceeds even my own power.
Okay.
It would be difficult to measure, as he does not obey the same laws that we do. He is
We
a
just
spirit
kinda
of
got
pure
that story.
madness.
Yeah, all right.
Some have said that he is capable of delivering prophecy. Others say that he merely whispers death and poison.
Do you think that we can trust an agent of his in our midst enough to carry our water and cook our meals?
Oh, like a hireling.
Yes.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
hired.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Told
just
you,
don't let him
Kaz.
just don't let him cast any mind affecting spells on you.
I told you.
Don't
Alright.
don't let him do that thing where he links all your minds together either. That'd probably be a bad idea.
What if it was, like, hypothetically, like, short term for the greater good kind of a
So Hal is in the room while all this is happening. He just keeps looking at everybody who's talking. But I mean, what do you want short term for the greater good? I mean, this whole quest is for the greater good.
That's true, I suppose. You know, I just like to know what bad options we have on the table.
You're looking for a terrible option. You should allow Kazador to do all the talking while you're in Blindenstone and let Runa have the ruler.
Okay.
Where in Blindenstone is the ruler?
I'm not sure. I've only been able to acquire the scent of its location.
What kind of chaos could it wrought if someone were to be abusing its power?
You would know if its power were to be used.
Okay.
Yeah, Kaz.
I am hesitant in front of so many outsiders to speak of its secret power.
He's hesitant, Kaz. Don't push him.
But in the most basic sense, it would allow one to exchange one object for another. However,
see, you can switch stuff out one for one. That's how it works.
As the measure of fixation, everything is an object to it, including emotions, a human soul, magic. You can take something from something and place it into something else, as long as you believe that what you are exchanging it for is of equal value.
Kaz knows all about that. He was in a staff.
That's true. He's got experience.
It is absolutely nothing like that. That is the complete wrong way to think about it.
Kind of sounds like you would know.
We appreciate all your information. We shall gather this item as quickly as possible.
How can we get a hold of you in the future a little more easily?
Do you have any communication magic, like sending message?
We do not.
And I'll show up whenever I feel like it.
Do you have any assistance that you can offer us on our journey? We are running a little bit low on funds. And
very well. When you land at the Feydenguzian Empire, I'll have an account opened in the name of the Fellowship of Finding for you.
How
what
much
are you
is
looking
be
for?
In the account?
I did just use most of my personal funds to fund Mortrick's rehabilitation.
Oh, really?
Yes, we appreciate that.
Thanks.
Mortrick is
Mortrick had cost 4,000 gold pieces.
Yeah, and that was just like a crappy community college. Could you imagine if I went somewhere, you know, like...
The vast majority of that was paying for your fleeing services.
I cover Mortrick's mouth. Enough for the passage. That's fine. We appreciate your assistance.
What's the passage? 200-300 gold?
Yes, 300 gold.
I will have an account waiting for you when you arrive.
Much appreciated.
I will also have a seal prepared that you may use in my name, Runa, when absolutely necessary, and not to get yourself out of comedic misadventures.
Understood.
I like all of you, and I will continue to employ all of you, but if you embarrass me in front of my coworkers, I will probably turn at least one of you into an object rather than a person.
We all look at Mortrick.
My time is short.
Just like Christmas 6 years ago all over again.
Do you have any other questions?
We do not.
How comes Runa gets the seal? Can I hold on to the seal?
The fact that you're asking Mortrick says a lot.
Princess, might I speak with you privately?
I guess. I don't really know you.
He's trustworthy.
I don't think you have an
So
option.
he gestures toward the bilge. I mean, he walked through the wall because he's a projected image.
So walk around.
As you close the door behind you, he says, Princess, you should know that my nation and yours are about to go to war. Your people have been moving aggressively along our coast, and my people will have no more of it.
That was the counselor, but we took care of it.
I believe it is too late. You might have completed it this day, and perhaps if I were to leave right now, I might be able to convince our Navy to stand down at great personal cost. However, as you might have noted, I am a very exceedingly busy person, And even stopping a world-spanning war would be a waste of my talents, I am sad to say.
Why would it be a waste of your talent?
Because I am not concerned with
very
stopping a
good.
war. I am concerned with stopping the complete unmaking of reality. If the Demon Lord is free, he will become more powerful than all of the gods combined, now that they have wasted all of their power to seal him. And he will lay waste to all of reality. Every plane will become his flaming stomping ground. So I apologize. I wish I could do more to help you. But however, your nation did cause this mess. I will send messages of temperance and counsel to the naval commanders, but it may be some time before either nation stands down. Can you truly say that your own country doesn't wish for this expansion?
As far as I know, they do not.
Might I use your name as a voice of reason and cooler heads in my missives then?
You can. I'll try to talk to my parents.
I see. I have to tell you, Princess, that most of these situations normally end in some sort of political agreement. Are you prepared to pay the ultimate price?
What's the ultimate price?
I assume that, you know, you have no siblings. You would be asked to marry one of the Empire's scions.
Well, that kind of makes running away pointless.
Well, I mean, I'm sure you could just run away for a while, but eventually you'd have to settle down. Look, I'm not here to tell you how to live your life. I'm trying to provide options to keep your tiny country from being squashed beneath the war footing of the god of war.
Right.
I mean, I know you clearly are not appreciating the amount of effort that I'm putting into this. Every minute I spend here is another minute that I am not finding sacred artifacts spread across the world that I'm charged to gather.
Thank you for letting me know.
Very well. I hope that the rest of your day goes better than it appears to have begun.
Yeah, me too.
There is no light in the bilge because both of you could see in the dark. So he takes his arms down and then he looks around and is like, oh, and then he just disappears. The door opens out of the bilge. Lilwyn comes back in, and Hal is going, so when are we going to talk about Kazador lying to us about the Demon Lord?
Be like, listen, Hal, I don't, Kaz is, just dwarves. Hey, how's that goat coming?
Can I insight check Kaz to see when he said that he didn't give in to temptation and he was telling the truth?
Sure. Go right ahead.
Rik-Jaxx will slip behind Kaz while this is happening.
Oh boy, I love how everyone is suddenly immediately suspicious of Kaz. Kazador, with the 22, I believe that Runa sees through you unless you would like to hide your intentions.
I don't, as far as I know, I don't think I have any intentions to hide.
I agree. So allow me to ask then, do you or have you made any deals with the Demon Lord?
No, I mean...
Yeah, Runa, you look at Kazador. He seems to be stalwart, trustworthy. I mean, I wouldn't say he's a bastion of innocence, but certainly in this regard.
His word is a bit rough. I believe Kaz to be telling the truth.
Yeah, why would you ever doubt him? I mean, he may be an idiot, but this is one of those he's our idiot situations.
At least I don't tell our help to start stealing precious artifacts.
And Hal's like, and on that regard, I wanted to talk about who's actually in charge here. I would rather not be put into a situation where I anger several of you, including a possible Demon Lord sympathizer.
Pretty sure it's me. Is it me, guys? I feel like we settled this earlier and we decided it was me.
You can route all your questions to me, Hal.
So Hal pulls out, I'm doing this before any of you can because I've given you a whole episode. He says, I've made up some contracts to further establish our relationship, and I noticed you hadn't come up with a name better than Mortrick and Company, so I made this, and it's Rik-Jaxx's two swords laid over each other as a banner that says "The Drawn Blades."
I thought I in character suggested that name.
Did you already do that?
I thought we did last time.
Did you?
Yeah, very briefly. I thought.
I was like, oh, I made this because Kazador suggested it. The Drawn Blades. I've incorporated you in Havens. It's a nice tax shelter.
See, Kaz, how could you doubt him? He loves your idea.
Is it like an actual banner?
Yes.
How? This is wonderful.
Sweet.
Well,
That's why you always trust your own idiots.
I asked several of the elven maidens in the castle to make it, and they did it as a joke. However, this paperwork is quite real. Incorporating you. However, you'll notice that the chief executive officer position is empty here.
Pretty sure that's mine. I'll take it. That's what we decided on, right,
As
guys?
you begin moving your hands toward it, Hal slides the papers away from you. I thought that perhaps it would be best for you all to decide as a group who the leader is, whether it is simply on paper or in actuality. But I need to know who I'm answering to, so that I don't end up in a Mortrick Kazador situation again.
I suppose if anyone wants to stand up besides myself, otherwise I'll take the.
All right. How about this? We'll all do the thing where we vote for ourselves secretly, and then you just pick me because I've been running the show so far. And like, frankly, we are 50 for 3 or whatever. Like, we are just firing on all cylinders. Things.
I vote for everybody but Mortrick.
You're not.
I was like, I apologize. You're not listed as a member in this documentation. I didn't know you'd be coming along with us. I thought we were just having breakfast with you.
I'll go into my backpack and grab like some stuff out of my flintlocks, like some wood, and like break them off into different pieces. So like we're drawing sticks.
You want to randomly decide who the party leader is.
I mean, that's the only way I see it. That it
all
would
right.
be fair. And
Is everybody good with randomly deciding who the official?
I mean, I volunteer myself if.
Mortrick is good with random lots.
Rik-Jaxx, what do you think?
Rik-Jaxx is not the leader type, so he's just kicking back, laughing at you guys while you're trying to work this out.
I mean, so far the vote is 1 abstain, 1 for Kazador, and 2 for randomly voting.
Runa, do you want to take the chance at Mortrick officially becoming the head of this party?
There are only 3 sticks here, Kaz.
Oh man, the twist that no one saw coming. Wow.
Rik-Jaxx says he wasn't gonna draw, right?
I feel like the whole show, all 10 episodes, have been building towards that moment. Oh my god. All right, well, Mortrick technically voted for this, so Kazador, Runa, and Rik-Jaxx roll a d20 and let's see who gets the highest.
A D20.
Nothing like randomly deciding who the party leader is and defining your actions for a generation. Well, beating Runa's is going to be pretty tough with a 13. Good luck, Kazador. So Runa, you thought that you broke all the sticks off at the correct length, but you and Kazador both have a pretty long stick. And as you keep putting them next to each other, they're exactly the same length. You're rolling again, Connor. All right.
Yeah, I assume that we're sort
You're
of.
muted, bearded.
Wait, I want in on that.
No, it's too late. You're not part of the winner's circle. No, you still managed to lose. You managed to roll a 1. Rik-Jaxx looks at his stick again and he goes, I think it's longer, and then he snaps it in half in the process.
There we go.
As you compare the 2 sticks, Kazador's ends up being just a fraction longer. Kazador is now the official leader of the Drawn Blades, surprising no one. So Hal now answers to you, Kazador, but he also believes that you might be a filthy traitor. It could be.
I believe you're a filthy traitor, Hal.
It's just like
aside and like I don't know what like the second in command situation is, but
It's not you.
oh, well. Then in other news, I think we're either going to have to kill Kaz or Hal, because one of them is going to kill the other one if we don't kill one of them. I suppose there are other options besides killing that. Just immediately
Yes.
where I
I'm
went.
so glad you came to that conclusion. You're growing very nicely as a person, as an individual.
As you say that, we cut to Hal in the corner, brushing the goat, going, "You're growing very nicely."
Can I go over to Hal?
Yeah?
Can I buy that goat from you?
No. Yes. How much money do you have?
How much money did you buy it for?
You can tell he's definitely prepared to lie to you in the next few seconds.
If you lie, I'll cut my price down by half.
So he says, that only encourages me to lie much, much higher. Do you even know what a goat is worth?
Do I know what it is?
How much is a banana?
He says, you think a goat is worth 200 gold pieces? Yes, that is what a goat is worth.
Yes.
How would you like to pay me?
How about 3 gold pieces?
That. How much do you think bread is worth?
I'll give her
I don't
the goat.
know.
Our meals
What
are
do you guys
paid
normally
for.
spend? Like 16 gold pieces on a slice?
What? We're not going to get to eat the goat? I've been
Yeah,
looking
I'm pretty into eating this goat. I've been sitting here watching it stew for hours.
Please don't kill the goat.
Our food will be prepared by the crew. We'll have drink and everything you could want. Leave the goat alone.
But Hal's been marinating it just for us.
I'm gonna marinate you if you don't leave that goat alone.
All right, I guess in my first action,
I don't know if I think that's a bad idea or a good idea.
Kazador.
We'll find out.
of being party leader, we won't eat the goat.
Damn it, Kaz, this was the wrong
I
decision.
knew I liked
Who was the
him.
leader? No, wait, Runa doesn't want to eat the goat anyway. Should have been the boss.
All right. Hal is prepared to sell you the goat for 10 gold pieces.
Okay.
All right, you hand him 10 gold pieces.
Like Hal, I think that's going to count as your wages for this leg of the journey.
Hal is just like, that's not, no. She doesn't work for you?
No. And I'm not the boss either.
He reaches
buy
up
that-
and pats you on the head, Lilywin, and says, I know you're older than me, but I feel like it's time for you to learn some fiscal responsibility. I would like to teach you basic common sense during this 7-day voyage.
What do you mean?
I mean, this goat is worth 10 gold pieces, but you offered me 200 to begin with. I could buy an elephant for that much.
Is that a lot of money?
A what?
Yes. 200 gold pieces is a lot of money. 200 gold pieces could pay for most of this voyage for the 6 of us. It's a lot of money.
Huh. Did you guys not have 200 pieces normally?
No.
No,
We are
no.
going to have a very,
Wait a
very
second.
long journey, and there will be
Where
a
did
lot
you
of
get
discussions.
200 gold pieces when just like 30 minutes ago we were trying to scrounge everything together we
She
could?
didn't have the 200 gold pieces.
At my castle.
But you actually physically do have 10 gold pieces to pay him with, which is what he's happy to have, is 10 gold pieces. Because that's now like all the money he owns. It's about 10 gold pieces and a couple silver. All right. You are on your way to a war zone along a coast with 2 navies fighting each other into a country that doesn't like the princess in order to go underneath it to a place that doesn't like half of you just on a racial basis and probably is also having some troubles to find a magical artifact that can definitely rewrite the laws of the universe.
So just a normal day.
Yeah, you know, that's just how the show works.
Yep. We've seen worse.
Name one time.
Okay, we haven't almost died in at least 3 episodes, okay?
Mortrick literally
We've
hit the
almost
ground
died.
this episode.
Because Kaz knocked me out, you big jerk.
That's true. He did. It was so funny too.
It was pretty hilarious. Not gonna lie.
Oh, there could have been a very different ending to this episode if we had a funeral for Mortrick. Oh my
What
god.
a
Zombie
shame.
Mortrick shambling up towards Cynthia at the end of the episode. Scarred for life. We should have an alternate episode one day. You know, like if we're still playing at Halloween.
What's the quartermaster's name?
I love that you guys can't remember anybody's name.
Name's Barrick.
Hey, I take
Barrick
notes. I
Ditali.
take notes. I actually told Mick the captain's name before.
The captain's name, not the quartermaster's name.
Well, I didn't have that note.
Yeah,
About
that's what I
the
thought.
Gamemaster.
I remembered Latte's name.
It's espresso.
So,
Whatever. Coffee.
Latte. All
Latte
right.
Coriander is his brother's name.
Then none of that you're saying is true.
It is. Canon.
You're gonna tell me what canon is? It's like going up to it's going up to J.K. Rowling and be like, Harry Potter was only 5'3".
Canon.
All right, you arrive on the 18th day of Dragon, and I feel like this is a good place to end the episode because I need to describe what a port that's on fire looks like. I want to need to come up with that description.
Yeah.
Cotton, thanks so much for guessing with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
thanks for having me.
Thank you, Connor.
I'm going to ask you some questions during the week as to what a rogue princess with not a lot of money wandering around in an enemy country does on her own when she doesn't even know what the price of bread is and believes that goats might be worth 200 gold pieces. Those questions might be a little biased, but
Sometimes biases are useful.
wow.
Wow.
That's such a dwarven thing to say.
Yeah. I'd expect you to say something like
Racist.
that. People are going to think we're all racist.
No, you're just a murderer. Just a
Better than
murderer.
racist.
Dog murderer.
I'm working on getting our next guest on, and after that, we can do that thing where you guys say, no, we like Cotton better. Let's have her on the show forever.
Probably.
So keep that in mind for the future.
Sounds good.
You guys each get 400 experience points for killing some zombies, which were not worth a lot of experience points, and a lot more experience points for smuggling Lilywin off the island without her parents finding out.
Yeah, and ahead of all of her people being turned into zombies.
That didn't happen. Yes.
I mean, there were a lot of people that get turned into zombies.
Yeah.
All right.
Kind of how zombies work.
So let me tell you, the thing that you didn't know is that because the infection started in the water, it is now spreading underwater at high speed in every direction.
How
All from one potion?
Yeah.
I mean, all you need is one undead
Those
fish to bite a few
very-
other fish, and they bite some other fish, and they bite a fisherman. And then
So
they
wait, we
bite
have
a
this document
giant
of
turtle.
Brewing in the ocean right now.
Yeah.
And so we're playing Plague in this game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but you're
right.
not playing Plague as the people that are up there. You're playing Plague as
that are in there.
one of the tokens that's on the
Right?
board.
Yeah.
And you're hoping that someone stops the plague before it reaches your town.
Perhaps we should have told Mardrovian.
Perhaps you should have told literally anyone. But you didn't know that was happening. I'm just telling you so that later, when I mention thousands of zombies all along the area, you aren't surprised.
I mean, to be fair, I have obliquely mentioned it to Lilywin.
It's true.
So,
That maybe you guys caused this problem.
Maybe. Who's the guy that created that magic? It's really his fault.
That guy was effed up, man.
Yeah.
What was her name again?
Don't worry, he's dead.
I don't know, but I have a picture of her.
It happened to be a druid, right?
Yes, it
Yeah, it
was
was
a female druid.
Coincidence?
That you poisoned millions of innocent people?
Right?
I don't know where to go from that. Let's just do that thing where we start the outros.
Wait, what was the total XP? You said 400, right?
400.
400, yeah.
Speaking of
that's-
infecting people with awesome art, what's up with you, Connor?
Yeah, that's me, I guess. Sometimes. And that was me drawing tonight. I did some stuff with Kaz, and now I wanted to finish this portrait up so I can have it in the game and all that. But yeah, you can find me on twitch.tv/conorhughes. I draw my comic there called White Ash, and it's actually a Kickstarter right now. And so if you search Google for Kickstarter and White Ash Volume 1, you'll find it there. It's like gonna be lots of pages. It's like the first arc of the story with some backup story and lots of pinups and stuff. It'll be really cool. So check us out there. And yeah, how about you, Bearded? What's up with you?
Yeah, you can find me at Twitch TV/beardedjalapno or jalapeno, JALAPNO. You can also find me on Twitch. Same thing. All my social media is the same, Bearded Jalapeno. And yeah, what's up with you, Cotton?
I doodle and stuff. I have a Twitter that's cotton_tailed, I think. I also hang out on AP's Discord, and I'm on his Thursday show and his Monday podcast. What's up with you, Mccomicker?
Mccomicker, and I also do the comics. I'm currently working on a Sleepy Hollow Lovecraft mashup full of witchcraft, wizardry, corruption, terrible people doing terrible things to other people, and it's going to be fantastic. Which
Do-
is
Much like our current game.
Do Hal
Much better
and
sales
Tharder
pitch there,
make a
yeah.
guest spot?
Huh?
Hal and Tharder, guest spot?
Oh,
One panel, we mention them in the background. He's like
I'll
trying to
work
sell
that
the
in.
word of Tharder to other cultists.
Does that mean that the main character is Mortrick?
No, please no. I don't know that the world can handle more than one Mortrick.
Wait,
Oh, there's never enough more tricks.
that's what a Mortrick would say.
But I will be streaming that tomorrow on the Twitch at Mccomicker, and you can see some pages I've already drawn up on Instagram at Mccomicker. And that's what I'm doing right now. What are you working on, Planet?
All right, so I'm PlanetKhaos Art on Twitch. I'm actually going to be streaming, I hope, in about an hour and 20 minutes. So if anyone wants to see me draw a Nafeshni
Wow.
demon from Dungeons and Dragons, that's what I'm working on
Yeah,
tonight.
no kidding. We should
It's
talk at some
looking
point
sweet.
during the week about your experiences in Blingdenstone. I'll send you some.
I will write something up.
Oh,
and-
good. I'll read it and then
know
I'll
what?
send you some questions.
Yep, sounds good. I will do that tomorrow.
Good, good. I just want to know how to destroy your life.
Yeah.
And speaking of people who are streaming, what's up with you, AP? Yeah, that didn't work as well out of my head. My head.
Sounded good in your head, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll accept it. It is technically true.
I'm
the
working
best
on it. Like, you're a professional at this. You're training me. I get it. I'm doing
professional.
my best here.
I
I'm doing
wouldn't
my
use the word professional.
Yours are very smooth, whereas mine's are just a little choppy right now, you know? I'm working on my material.
I feel like maybe you haven't seen enough of mine.
It's literally only when you do it for our game.
I don't think the ones that I do for this game are pretty good either. What do I do? Oh, that's right. I play Dungeons and Dragons professionally, I guess. Twitch,
That's what I
Twitter,
heard.
YouTube. Did you also know that if you like this stream and would like to support it, you can do it by hitting that Twitch Prime button. If you're on YouTube, you can smash that like button, give it a 420 headshot real quick, click subscribe, and make sure to click that bell so you get notified when videos go live. Wednesday
notes,
at
though.
noon, you can check this show out when it goes up, unless I forget to upload it the night before. And then you'll get it Thursday at noon, probably. Look, we'll be back next week, yes?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes, next week I will miss a day. I'll be out at
Oh,
it's
Nick is the
23rd?
first one to go.
23rd of April.
23rd of April. I'm marking it
I'll be
down.
gone. Yeah.
I would like to sell all of you on playing a game of Mobile Frame 05 brands that night.
That sounds fine with me.
Mobile Frame Zero Firebrands. What is it? A great question.
Yeah.
One that is literally unanswerable. It is an experience. But if I was to be forced to say something about it, I would say something like this. Imagine a anime mecha / Gundam Wing universe.
I'm down.
Where you play Mario Party minigames with all of your friends. Each of you picks one of 3 factions to make a character in. And then each faction or character chooses which factions take place in each battle or scene. So the scenes are either you're in your mech and there's a chase, you're in your mech and there's a combat, you're on foot and there's a combat, you're at a dinner party, you're at a dance, you're making love. So you could be like, all right, I would like to accidentally trip and fall in love with one of the enemy pilots. That's the thing that happens in this game. And everything is decided either between the players or with the flip of a coin.
I'm in.
All right, let's do it.
That sounds a lot
You
of
had me at
fun.
Mobile Gundam.
Yeah, I figured. That's where most people get it. The last time I played, I was destroyed by thermonuclear lasers. Literally a laser powered by a runaway thermonuke.
Yeah,
I was
meanwhile,
burned to
I've
death
gotta
alive.
do, Mobile Gundam. Figure out what you guys are talking about.
You don't know anything about Gundam?
I had a friend in high school who once said the word Gundam and said, "Hey, why don't you come over and watch Gundam?" And I said,
No.
Nope."
Probably said something racist.
Do you not like giant robots?
I mean,
Nick, don't
I
answer
have
that. I
seen
don't want to
these
know.
guys before. You know what I don't like? I don't like Thor Ragnarok. It's too much goddamn fun, and I
Wow,
hate it.
Wow. All right. So I
much
sent
shade.
you guys a link to the Mobile Frame Zero Firebrands book. It's only like 20 pages long.
Cool. Sounds good.
It's literally just quick mini games that you play for like an hour or two. So I was saying you could support me with Twitch Prime. Twitch Prime. If you already have Amazon Prime, you can link your Twitch account with just like a minute or 2 of hassle and then subscribe on Twitch. If you already subscribe to me, you could Twitch Prime any of these other people who also stream on Twitch. Choose your favorite, not me, to Twitch to. Even Cotton. Actually, Cotton's not a broadcaster, but she could be soon. I've seen her overlays. They are cute.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
They are better made than mine, which is really bad because I had someone professionally make mine.
I like your overlays.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Overlays are hard.
They are. Mine
You
is like
are telling me.
bare bones, and it was already way too much work.
The barest of bones.
Yeah, there's barely anything there.
Barely anything there. The title of Mortrick's first spoken word album. Fucking got him. Got him. I can't believe how funny you guys thought that was, but I will take it.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
Oh, that was good.
That's canon.
That's it. That's it. We're done for the night. Have a good night, y'all.
Later, guys.
See ya.
See you guys.